everyone, and my name is Sheila, and today we're gonna read the Magic Tree of Merlin mission book, 6th season of the Sandstorms, and today we're gonna start reading a chapter 8 and the end of reading a chapter 9, okay? And now are you ready to read this one book with a lot of stories? And now here we go. And first we can read the Magic Tree of Merlin mission, 6th season of the Sandstorms, chapter 8, Room of the Tree. No, cried Jack. Jack ran to the beauty and yanked hunks of paper from her mouth. Annie dropped to her knees and picked up her torn pieces strewn around the camel's big feet. The treasure ruined, moaned Annie. Jack was steamed. I shouldn't have left my bag here, he said. No, it's all my fault. I shouldn't have gone back my Dragordoski to wear it, Annie. I should have acted more humble, like Morgan said. Annie sounded like she was about to cry. It's okay, said Jack, but we knew it wasn't. The book was destroyed. They have failed into their mission. Maybe we can fix it, said Annie, and Jack shook his head. No, we can't, he said. It's completely destroyed. It can't be fixed. And Annie looked up. What did you just say? She said. I said it can't be fixed, said Jack. A big grin crossed Annie's face. Right, it can be fixed, she said. Help me gather up all these pieces. Why, said Jack, and Annie was gone nuts. Just do it quick, said Annie. And Jack and Annie rushed around the stable, gathering up the thorns of the pages. Now the pile everything over here is the top of the cover and give me the book, said Jack. What's the book, said Jack. The Remind book, said Annie. Oh, said Jack. Right. He reached into the shoulder bag and pulled out Teddy and Kathleen's book, Magic Reminds. And Jack opened the book and read down the list. Here is the man we cannot be mended, he said. That's one, said Annie. Jack flipped through the pages until he came to the Remind. He peeled up the book so he and Annie can both see, standing to the shadow of the sunlight, and Jack read aloud, clear voice. Here what is the broken beyond repair? And Annie read the second line. Every old fan a mare, and the paper bits floated, and they began to swirl off the floor. It was swirled all around as they have caught into the small tornado. The tornado is covered with the thorn of the pieces, and formed and twisted together. The papers swirled to the blur of the blinding night. Oh, now Jack and Annie had made up they have some rhymes at the Remind book, so they have used their rhymes. So they have made up their research book to a research book again. Jack shut his eyes. He heard a loud woof, and then he looked up. The bright tornado had vanished. Lying in the floor of the stable in the front of Jack and Annie's ancient book. Holding his breath, Jack carefully picked up the treasure. He pointed to the letter cover. Oh man, he whispered, as the word princess of the world's wisdom were nearly writing to the yellow pages. There's no sign of the rafteer anywhere. Thank goodness, brother Annie. Yeah, said Jack. So what do we do now? Said Annie. I don't know, said Jack. What's the next thing Merlin tells us to do? He pulled out Merlin's letter and read. Beneath the bird sing of the room of the tree, great freedom. Who can you, a new friend, would be? What's that mean? Said Jack. Suddenly Annie heard someone behind them, and he and Annie have turned around. The girl was standing to the doorway stable. She wore a long white gown, and their face was hidden by the veil. Hi, said Annie. Who are you? I'm the servant of this palace, the girl whispered. Come. She motioned for them to follow her. Oh, let's go, said Annie to Jack. Where is she taking us? Said Jack. And why is she whispering? I don't know, said Annie, but I feel that we should follow her. Okay, said Jack. He put out the book of the wisdom and the book of the magic reminds to his bag. She slung off the back of his shoulder and followed Annie to the servant girl out of the stable. The three of them walked through the courtyard and of the palace doors. They walked down a wide candlelight A hallway over to the thick wooden carpet, and the end of the hallway is the thorn-covered door, but the boy servant stood by the door. He wore a baggy trouser of the long shirt, his face is almost completely hiding by the headcloth. He did not speak or look at them. The servant girl stood close to Jack and Annie in the strange whispery voice. She said in the front of the chair, bow to the floor, do not look up and speak until you're spoken to. But what? Said Jack. Go quickly, whispered Clara. The boy serpent pulled the open heavy door. The girl serpent pushed them into the room. Wait, said Jack. The boy serpent closed the door behind them, leaving Jack and Annie alone. Jack, look, we are here, said Annie. The rim of the tree. And Jack turned around. The giant tree stood into the center of the room. It had silver leaves that had floated back down the wind. A miracle golden bird say tweet tweet over to the silver branches. Beneath the strange tree is an empty black chair. Jules broke into the shiny wood. We are here at right space, said Annie. She had quoted from the Merlin's ladder. In the room, the birds beneath to who swing the rooms of the tree, a great friend of who once knew and new friends to be. Another mystery solved, Annie said. Not really, said Jack. We're two friends. I don't know, but we'd better bow at the front of the chair and to the servant girl toward us too, said Annie. And Jack and Annie for the front of the shiny black chair, and they bowed heads off the floor. And Annie grieved the bag of the Jack grieved the bag of the treasure inside. Remember what else she said? Said Annie. Remind Jack. Don't look up and speak until you're spoken to. But there's no one here, said Jack. He felt foolish buying under the chair of listening to the chirping of the miracle birds. Why are you doing this, he wondered. The door opened into the low crickling sound, and Jack squeezed his eyes shut. He heard the footsteps moving past them. How did you get the throne room? A deep grooved voice asked. A servant brought us here, said Annie. And why have you come? Asked the boys. We have a perilous treasure to give from the captain of the Baglag, said Jack, and keep us Jack down. This is a book of the wisdom. Jack trembled his bag and pulled out the book. He kept his eyes tightly shut, and he held a book up to the boys. There is a long silence. We hope you will tell the captain pray to us the wisdom of the words, said Annie. And how they come out the pollen of this book? Said man, we're helping a friend, said Annie. And we got the spirit of the sandstorm. Ah, then I suppose you bought this book of the bagel and grain reward, said man. Oh, no, we didn't, said Jack. It's our mission to give up the cabinet. Surely you are speaking. Some of the payment is exchanged for the treasure, said the man. Would you like the precious ferments of the gatherer from the sweetest flowers of the earth? No, thank you, said Annie. Robbers are lords of the handbags, said man. No, thanks, said Jack. Would you not accept the book into the gourd? Said man. We don't need a reward, really, said Jack. Since I like books so much, why don't you turn off the camera to use the gold robbers to buy more of them, said Annie. More of them, said Annie. Again, there is a silence. Jack and Annie have cleared down of the throat, and he spoke. Voice was gentle and familiar sounding. Look up at me, Jack and Annie, he said, and Jack opened his eyes and slowly lifted his head. A first saw gleaming gold slippers and the long white robe, gold trim and familiar face. Jack gasped. He couldn't believe his eyes. The man wasn't a scary person at all. The man was Merlin. Oh, Jack and Annie are finding the Merlin, and now they have found Merlin. But Jack and Annie thought it's not a Merlin, just a scary person here. But it's a Merlin. Why does the Merlin have vanished and now here again? I think Merlin have just want to vanish. So Merlin has just hide to the branches or somewhere leaves like that, so Jack and Annie can't see it, or go down to the sand and hide under the sand. Oh wow, now it's chapter 9, so tomorrow we start reading a chapter 9 and the end of reading a chapter 10 or chapter 11, okay? And now, bye bye everybody, and tomorrow we read the same book but another story because there might be a new chapters to read, okay? Now bye bye everybody, and if you like my YouTube, please thumbs up my YouTube. Bye bye everybody, have a nice day, bye.